High Plains Technology Center, turning education and training into workplace success.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
High Plains Technology Center, education at the speed of business. School is now in session.
Good morning. This is Katie Shirley with High Plains Technology Center. I'm the marketing coordinator, and I'm also filling in for Taylor again this week with two guests from our Health Careers program. So instructor with me today is Falisha Bowers. Good morning, Falisha.
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit about your background before you came to High Plains, and then you go ahead.
So when I was in industry, I was a registered dental hygienist. I still am. For 15 years. And then I also was adjunct faculty with the dental assisting program out at High Plains Technology Center before I started almost 3 years ago full time.
Awesome. Tell us just briefly about Health Careers, kind of an overcap of like how many career majors there are.
Okay, so we have 13 specific career majors that students can choose from their second year. When they come in as a junior, they do their anatomy and physiology, medical terminology, and then we actually have some students this year that are seniors, and we have an adult that they're going to do both of their years in 1 year, which you can do depending on the career major you choose. Now, then after their first year, they move into their second year and get to choose, and we try to help them to pick a career choice that will benefit them later, because most of our students are college bound, wanting to pursue something in the healthcare field. Uh-huh. And so that allows them to have some experience going into college and narrow down whether or not what they thought they wanted to do is actually what they want to do the rest of their life, which I think is a huge advantage, being a high school student, to not have to change those majors continuously as you go through college. Kind of save you a little bit of money and time as well. Yes,
definitely. That's what anyone I ever talk to that is somewhat interested in health industry, like when they're younger, I say come to High Plains because you will figure out a lot real quick and which path kind of help narrow that down, which right now is enrollment time. So if any adult or homeschool student is interested in checking out Health Careers, they can call the school or come up and visit with Mrs. Halderman or visit the website at hptc.edu. Okay, let's talk about what a lot of students are beginning to do right now in around our communities with clinicals.
So we have several students at the hospital with Integris, and through the radiology department, the EKG department, as well as the lab, doing blood draws as well. And then I have some students at our local urgent care, and we're utilizing some veterinarian offices as well. And then we're soon, within the next 2 weeks, going to be utilizing several of our clinics that the doctor's offices work out of. And so we just have students almost every week going, multiple students in a week going to clinicals right now, which is really pretty normal for us at this point in time in the school year. So,
is that kind of the rest of their year? They'll be at the clinical site. Do they come back to the classroom much more?
So no, they don't. They don't normally come back to the classroom. Once they're in clinical, they've finished all of their book work and they're learning. They're utilizing the skills that we've taught them, and then learning new skills. Yeah. And they're having to get a specific required amount of hours in order to be considered a completer with Health Careers. And so most of our students are going to be finishing like May 1st, and then they'll come back for a short period of time. And then we kind of lose them to their sending schools because they're seniors. Right. And so they're doing their graduation, preparing for all of their graduation ceremonies and things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So along with our practical nursing program, students being in clinicals, we have students all over in these clinics in our area.
Absolutely.
So will you introduce our guest that you've brought with us today?
Yes. Today we have Bryson Clark. He's a senior at Moreland High School, and I just feel blessed that he's been in our class. He was an exceptional student when he was a junior. He's proved continuously to be an exceptional student. He's chosen a career path in basic medical assisting, which is one of our hardest career paths that we have, alongside with dental assisting, and finished his book very early, first part of January. Typically, our students don't finish that until first part of March, and so an extreme amount of work ethic and dedication. And he's very driven. And so I think that our clinical side has been very pleased with him from confirmation through contact with them as well. And he's a big leader in our program as well, motivating students. He's very approachable. So I'll let him kind of talk a little bit about his experience as well.
Welcome, Bryson.
Thank you.
So first, why don't you tell us what inspired you to even begin your journey with health careers at High Plains?
I've had a lot of different reasons, from breaking a bunch of bones and just seeing loved ones in the hospital setting, such as I've broken both my ankles, both my collarbones, and destroyed a bunch of other things in my body. So,
Wow.
And I've seen how much the healthcare setting has impacted people in my life, such as my best friend. He was in there for quite some time, and just seeing how people work together really, really inspired me to join the healthcare field.
Well, that's awesome. So what has been the most valuable lesson that you have learned in the program?
I think the biggest thing that I learned in this program is that nothing in life is easy. So if you put your mind to it and you work hard, you can really do anything you want. So just dedication and pursuing your dreams is a really big lesson that I learned.
A lot of it's in your mind, isn't it?
Yep,
That's
for sure.
what, as we learn what we can control in our thought life and putting our mind to things, there's a lot there. So
Application.
yeah.
Yes.
So how has the program prepared you as you've begun your clinicals? How have you seen the program and what you've learned so far help you prepare you for that real world healthcare setting?
They really, really pushed us to do our best in everything that we did. So being able to go into the healthcare setting and just put your skills to work, and then realizing, hey, I learned this in school, and then knowing exactly what to do and just execute it perfectly is really reassuring, and it's a very good program to go into.
Awesome. So are you enjoying the clinical?
Yes, I love it. Everyone I work with is great, and I've had a bunch of great encounters, and it's very fun. I learn a lot of new things every day.
That's awesome. Pretty cool. Is it not just amazing that, when you think about it, this is school for you?
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of feels like a job, but in the same time, I'm learning every day, and it's never boring, so you never get burnt out when you're doing it. There's always new people coming in and out, and everyone's different, so you really get to build a connection with everyone that you meet, and so it's just really cool.
Yeah. And speaking of kind of like a job, we were talking before the show, so when you do get done with your clinical hours and are able to maybe it become a job the rest of the school year, and just how awesome that would be for, say, as we'll talk about a little bit later, but furthering your education to be able to have a job where you're making some pretty good money compared to a donut shop or coffee shop. You may be able to be doing something already in the health field that can generate some good income to get by.
Well, and with the field with basic medical assisting, Bryson can set for a national certification for basic medical assisting as well as phlebotomy for national certification. And then if he wants to work when he goes to college, he can, or when he's applying to be a radiologist, potentially, if that's still the career path he chooses, then it's something that he can speak about when he's sitting in front of an interview panel, which helps him to stand
already
out.
has accomplished that. That's awesome. Okay, so what skills would you say that you developed that you're probably the most proud of?
I thought that drawing blood was going to be the hardest thing ever, and now that I've learned how to do it, it's actually fairly easy, but I'm most proud of that one because it just seemed like such a daunting task to do, so I'm very proud of that one.
Have you had very many struggles getting blood the first time or so from patients?
Not patients. I've done a really good job at the clinical sites, but my friend Corbin, yes, I struggled very, very badly on him, but we got it all sorted out.
Corbin.
So
a good friend too.
Yes, I've had no problems in the clinical site. So
people always have a hard time drawing blood for me. So when I've got someone that's good, I'm just like, you are an angel. It just changes your whole experience when someone knows the certain tricks, like putting a warm towel.
Absolutely.
You're like, thank you for that extra effort. It really means a lot. Okay, so what are your plans after completing the program and graduating from Moreland?
So after I graduate, I plan on going to college somewhere to go after a bachelor's degree in medical science so I can apply to medical school and eventually become a radiologist somewhere down the line.
Wow, that's awesome. So we've got which specific field. And so are you planning to, like, so long term, I guess, I mean, pretty much radiology is a pretty good long term goal there. And so how do you hope to make a difference in the healthcare industry?
After seeing all the healthcare settings that I've been to, and just there's always one common thing that they have in general. Well, whenever you go to a good one, you really recognize how people work together and make you feel welcomed, and they can really calm your nerves, because going into a hospital is very nerve-wracking for most people. It's not a fun place to be. So if you can have someone that kind of just helps you feel welcome there and really reassure that they know what they're doing and they can take care of you no matter what happens. So
well, that
just being able to make people feel welcomed.
That will definitely be a blessing, because yes, it's usually the worst time of people's lives, if not just not a fun situation. So that is beautiful that is your desire, because it's definitely needed with that,
Showing
being
compassion.
a service.
Absolutely.
I always think when a nurse is, and they just have none of that, I'm like, did you realize going into this industry, it is a care,
Yes.
And so it's very meaningful when they
you
have
really got
care.
to be a people person.
Yeah, service minded. So about High Plains in general, what have you enjoyed the most about being a student at High Plains?
I feel like it really got me out of my comfort zone. I didn't really think I was going to be doing anything like this. I got convinced by my buddy to come, and I really appreciate him for driving me to do that, because this has been a very, very good opportunity for me, and I've learned so many new things and have a lot of opportunities ahead of me because of it.
Awesome. It does sound like it's life-changing for lots of our students. So I'm thankful to be at a place where we get to provide those opportunities, because your career is a big, big part of our lives, when we spend how many hours we spend doing it. So to love what you do is great. What advice would you give to future students that are considering maybe even just coming to High Plains in general, whether it's auto, diesel, or anything specific to health careers even?
I really think coming into here, just have an open mind of what you want to do, and don't be afraid to try new things, because it's not going to be easy the first time or the second time, but if you really put your mind to it and dedicate your work, you really can achieve great things. So just be prepared to work hard, and it will be fun. So I definitely advise coming. Yeah.
It's a good mix, wouldn't you say, Falisha?
Absolutely. Well, and I was just kind of reflecting on one thing specific last year when each year we do medical terminology, and I was thinking about Bryson last year. We had our medical terminology final, which is about 350 words, and he was the only student morning and afternoon that got 100%.
That's what I was trying to remember. I felt like he'd won something pretty.
So when he says like being dedicated, like I think to really think about that and put that into perspective. Just giving you an example a little bit more about what he means by that. I think so many times students come in not expecting the workload to be as difficult as what it is,
Very stimulating of college.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, just preparing for that and then embracing it is a big thing. Because if you truly are college bound and that's what you really want to do, we're trying to help you not only have skills for industry, but skills that are going to carry you into the rest of your life.
Right.
For your work and for college, or even if you're not college bound, just being in industry, being able to have that work ethic and dedication continuously. And it just sets you up for success.
Right. And kind of that self-paced learning where they're learning that, it is up to them to be staying on track, and they can go as fast as they want, like Bryson, or they can, go slow, and that'll only hurt them. So, what opportunities has health careers given you that you may not have had elsewhere? We kind of covered that, but you might have something new.
If I didn't come to health careers, there's no way I would have ever been doing anything like this. I probably would have just been sitting at school, just doing my classes, just blowing off all the work. But there's a lot of opportunity through healthcare. So.
Did you have, before you came, did you have any other thoughts or careers that far yet? Had you thought?
Not really. I mean, I've been around a lot of x-rays and everything like that. So radiology has always interested me. So
yeah. Well, it's awesome that you came and now you've got more assurance that that's the path you want to be on and you've got a very good head start. So thank you, Bryson. And we are so proud of you at High Plains.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Yep.
So thanks for all the hard work you've put in and being a great advocate and representative of High Plains. So
thank you.
Thank you all for listening, and you can catch Taylor next week.